To modify that, we have this latest criteria, not very latest, from 2016 we are using it. So ACR 2016 criteria is what we use for the classification of fibromyalgia now. So according to this criteria, there are 4 important points to be satisfied. So when all 4 are met, then only we call it as fibromyalgia. What are those 4 criteria? The very first one is there should be generalized pain in 4 out of 5 regions. So body is divided into 5 regions and simple to remember. Right upper region, left upper region, right lower region, left lower region, and the axial region or the trunk. Right? So 5 regions. So if 4 out of the 5 regions are showing pain, first criteria satisfied. Okay. Then the symptoms should be present at similar level for at least 3 months. That means if 3 months is an important point to note, and if the symptoms are improving or worsening, right, that doesn't go in favor of fibromyalgia. The symptoms should be roughly at the similar level. So 3 months back, whatever was the extent or severity of pain and the symptom, I experienced the same severity of pain even today. They are not worse, they are not better. Well, that is exactly what we are looking at. And then to bring in objectivity, now we have this 2 indices called as widespread pain index and symptom severity score. So in the very beginning of the lesson, I told you that pain is one of the complaint and they have some associated symptoms. So we are assessing these 2 separately. We are assessing pain separately. For that, we are using this widespread pain index, and to assess the symptoms, other symptoms, associated symptoms, we are using this symptom severity score. Okay, the point is clear. So in case of widespread pain index more than or equal to 7 plus symptom severity score more than or equal to 5, that satisfied the criteria number 3. Or if the symptom severity score is more and the widespread pain index is little less, still it might satisfy. So in that case, WPI 4 to 6 plus symptom severity score more than or equal to 9, that also satisfies the criteria number 4. Now the last criteria number 4 is very, very important, and I want you to pay attention to that. What is the criteria number 4? The diagnosis of fibromyalgia holds good regardless of other diagnoses. If these criteria are satisfied, even if it is a case of say rheumatoid arthritis or any neurological disorder or any endocrine disorder, if these criteria are satisfied, right, the fibromyalgia diagnosis hold good. So for example, if it is a case of rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia criteria are satisfied, you may say that this is a case of rheumatoid arthritis with fibromyalgia. Okay, so the diagnosis of fibromyalgia is consistent with the diagnosis of other entities. Okay, so both are applied. Then the last part of the statement is this: fibromyalgia diagnosis doesn't rule out other possible diagnoses. Right, so just because you have diagnosed fibromyalgia in a patient, that doesn't mean other rheumatological disorders or other similar symptom complexes cannot be occurring, right? So if criteria are met for other diagnosis, you can consider. So there is a one possible MCQ that can be asked from this is that what is the most common diagnosis which is attached to fibromyalgia, right? So remember, 75% of the patients with chronic fatigue syndrome also satisfy the diagnostic criteria for fibromyalgia. Right, so chronic fatigue syndrome is the most common diagnosis which is accompanying the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. Okay.